Hey y'all. It's been a minute since we caught up, and I'm having a day today. I think crying on the internet can be so cringy, but my therapist said that I need to get it out, so I thought I would talk to you guys about what happened to Jada. So, like 2 weeks ago, I got home from work and she got up like normal from her bed, and then she slipped on the hardwood floor and she fell. And she's done that in the past and she's been fine. But this time she couldn't get up. And I tried to get her to come outside and she couldn't walk. So I went and I grabbed my boyfriend and I was like, Jada can't get up, something's wrong. And I knew something wasn't right. So we took her to the emergency vet. And I wasn't thinking, what happened would happen. I thought maybe she, sprained something, or because it wasn't a bad fall. But Jada has been having some mobility issues. A couple months ago, she was diagnosed with arthritis. And so I would take her on like very short walks to kind of like stretch everything out. And they did an exam on her. And then the vet came in and said, they do this testing. They check like the reflexes of, like the back legs. So they like bend them or something. And then the reflex is to respond and like flip their legs back up or her feet. And she didn't do that at all. So she said that it was probably like a neurological or spinal issue, and that it was more than just arthritis. And she said, we can do x-rays and blood work and things like that. And I was like, like going to the emergency vet is insanely expensive. So I was like, I'll do anything for her. But if your recommendation before, doing all that is at the end, you're just going to tell me what you're telling me right now, then I don't want to do it. So she said that this could be like a slow decline, where it might not, like she might not decline fast, but was basically at a point where she would need help even going to the bathroom. And so I decided to put her down. And when I was there, I told them that she hasn't been able to go to the bathroom since she fell. And then I looked down at her bed and she had peed herself. And that was really heartbreaking because I never wanted, if and when it was her time to pass, I wanted it to be comfortable and peaceful, because Jada has been there with me for almost 12 years. And over those 12 years, I have been through a lot. And most of the grief I've felt in my life has been for people that still walk around on earth. And there's a sense of comfort in knowing that. And I deal with like anxiety and depression, and certain things I've been through had like caused me to spiral a few times, and my depression would get really bad. And it sounds morbid, but she kind of saved me from myself quite a few times. So there's like a kind of love that you really can't put into words when you have that kind of relationship, whether it be with a person or with an animal. And she was truly my soulmate and my very best friend. And so, I can't really put into words what it's like what it feels like to have to make that decision to put your dog to sleep. And it probably was one of the hardest things I have ever done in my whole life. You know, it's hard when, when 5 o'clock rolls around and she would normally eat her dinner, and I miss, her snoring. I have a love seat that was hers that she would sleep on all the time, and I couldn't look at it empty, so I had to put pillows and a blanket on the couch. I ended up getting her cremated, and all things considered, the emergency vet was, it was an amazing experience considering the situation. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been like pretty depressed, and I would say some days are not as bad, and then other days are really bad. I'll say that Roman kind of softened the blow a little bit, but there is a bit of sadness because, once I had him, she didn't get as much attention as she always had. And so I hold a lot of, I guess, I feel very guilty for that. And, you think about all these things like, does she feel like she wasn't as loved as I do love her? But people say, dogs aren't like people in that way. They don't hold things against you. And so I would say that even though, people have been there for me and I've had a lot of support, there's nothing that anybody can say or do to make you feel better. It's one of those things that you have to heal from, and I don't know that I will truly ever recover from this. And I have been pretty depressed, not gonna lie. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to check in, and I felt like chatting. I know some of you guys like to keep up with, my life, which is really not all that interesting, but yeah, I just felt like I needed to talk about it, and I just wanted to share because there's a lot of people who experience this and it's not easy. So I am hoping to be back to posting soon. There's some products that I need to make content for that I just really haven't had the energy for. But I hope to be back posting soon. So yeah, I just wanted to chat with you guys and tell you what happened. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk soon.